here. Make sure I have the right one. And we do. Okay. I'm going to give this a minute to get rolling. I started rolling it and my computer on a open screen somewhere in one of my tabs was playing Corey's show from a couple nights ago on D Live. So um, I had to get it. I had to turn it off and find it and get it started. So good afternoon and welcome to the third episode of my masterclass. And today we are going to talk about hydration. Let me pop my chat out here so I can see. There we are. Hi, Code Red. Nice to see you. So why don't we just go ahead and get started here? We're going to talk about hydration today and why it's so important and how being properly hydrated affects your overall health, your cells, all of this. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to share my screen here. Boom. Screen share. And I'm going to share a window, and that's the one I want to share. And I'm going to do this so you can see it nice and big. All right. Let's see. I want to make sure that. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. There. Nice and big. All right, so your brain and nerves rely on water and electrolytes to function. And your neurons are all the little tiny cells in your brain, and they send electrical impulses all over your body. They are facilitated by ions, which are charged particles like sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. And these ions are dissolved in water and they generate electrical currents um, for really crucial nerve function and muscle function and all different other types of action potentials in your body. You need water to make your nerves and neurons and all your cells fire properly. So, water, first of all, in the body is a universal solvent. Water enables chemical reactions and nutrient transport. Um, Thermal regulation, it helps you manage your body temperature, especially through sweating. So, without adequate water in your body, you can't keep your body temperature low enough when you're hot. Um, Sweating keeps you cool. And it also aids in tissue protection, providing cushioning, like for your brain. You have a little layer of fluid around your brain and down your spinal column. This is the cerebrospinal fluid. And so, it helps protect your brain if your head gets bumped around. Um, and it also helps with joint lubrication. So, water transports electrolytes and also maintains water, helps to maintain water balance in your system. Electrolytes influence water distribution in the body's three major compartments: intravascular space, so that's inside your blood vessels, which is 7% of your body's water, and intracellular space, which is inside your cells, which is 66% of the water that your body requires, and interstitial space, which is between cells and blood vessels, which is 26%. Um, the imbalances, when you have an imbalance, it can cause swelling, which we call edema, high blood pressure, and dehydration related issues like hypovolemic shock, which if you get too low in your water levels in your body and your electrolyte system, you can go into a type of shock which can be serious enough for intravenous intervention. So, um, You have three states of hydration. We call them, you know, normal hydration, dehydration, or hyperhydration. But the technical terms for them are euhydration, which is normal hydration, hyperhydration, which is when you have too much water, and hypohydration, which is insufficient water, um, which then leads to dehydration. So it is a stage before dehydration. When you have water loss, um, so when you have water loss, which is insensible water loss, so through breathing and through your skin, it's about a liter a day. So this is natural. Um, if you're exercising heavily, if you're having asthma problems, if there's ways that you can extra additionally lose water through your breathing. Um, and thank you, honey. Um, so and regular or sorry sensible water loss is through sweat, urine, and elimination, and that's about 2 liters a day. That's from regular body function. um, Insensible is through extra body function. Sensible water loss is through regular normal body function. Like you have when you're burning calories, you have your daily amount of calories, your um, from sitting, walking around, doing your chores, your your regular amount of calories that you burn in a day minus exercise. That would be your sensible water loss. And then if you burn more calories through exercise, then your caloric burn increases, and that is your insensible water loss. To compare it so you have an idea of what that means. Um, so if we look at your daily hydration needs, you have an average adult needs about 3 liters a day, and that includes your water that you get from food, lettuce, berries, um, all kinds of things that you eat that have moisture in them, fruit, um, having a glass of tea, those kinds of things. Your squash has moisture, meat has moisture, everything you eat has a certain level of moisture in it. Um, Minus, this does not include dehydrated foods. So we're talking about regular foods, fresh foods. Um, about 3 liters a day. And if you are exercising, you need to increase the amount of water that you drink in a day. So if we're going to convert this, on average, you need about a gallon of water a day, a little less if you're not exercising, and a little more if you are doing uh, regular exercise, going to the gym, taking a walk, taking a hike, riding your bike, whatever it is that you do for exercise, you need to increase your water intake because you're going to have an additional water expulsion through sweating. Um, and, when you exercise, your body gets to processing faster. So you'll have extra elimination too and extra respiration. So, it's important to make sure that you don't um, forget to have enough water, especially on the days that you're exercising. And it's helpful if the first thing in the morning you get up and have an 8 ounce glass of water before your coffee. When your coffee is liquid, but because of the caffeine content, the um, it is somewhat of a dehydrating beverage. So you want a glass of water before you have your coffee, before you have your tea. And then again, before you head out to the gym, before you get in the car and get to your hiking spot, whatever you're doing outside, before you go out to do some farm work, before you take your dog for a walk, have a good glass of water. Take some with you, drink it while you're in the process of your fitness, exercise, or a labor, and then come home or come back inside and drink some more water. Um, During exercise, during hiking, during yard work, you need about a liter an hour. to maintain your hydration, especially in the warmer weathers. And sometimes in the warmer weather, you need more than a liter. Uh, if you're feeling thirsty, go back inside and get yourself some more water. Take it back out with you so that you have it with you while you're outside doing your work. And after exercise, you want to be sure that you replace your lost fluids plus electrolytes. Um, there, find an electrolyte supplement that you really enjoy. I use Element. It's spelled LMNT, and I will leave a link to that in the Telegram room. Uh, it's really salty. So I use a whole packet over the course of a day because I can't drink one entire packet in one drinking. Um, so I'll spread it out over the day during hot weather or on the days that I'm exercising heavily, so that uh, I don't wind up with muscle cramps and I can keep my electrolyte balance up. Um, oh, thank you, Code. I appreciate that. Let's see. So the takeaway here, and I'm going to leave this little bit of notes for you in the Telegram room too, is that maintaining proper water and electrolyte balance supports your brain, your nerve, your nervous system, your nerves, your muscles, your blood cells. Without proper hydration in your blood cells, you're not going to get enough oxygen, because that's the first thing that it carries to you is oxygen. And then the next thing it carries to you is your food nutrients. So, um, proper hydration is also part of proper nutrition, to make sure that you're getting enough nutrients carried to you in your bowel. I want to talk about this before I forget. In your bowel, when you do digestion, it doesn't just happen. Digestion just doesn't happen in your stomach. It also happens through your large and small intestine. And um, without enough hydration or water in your system, you will not be able to absorb all the nutrients from your food. So, have a glass of water before your meal, have a glass of water after your meal, drink some with your meal. If you're drinking alcohol, by the way, you should match it, some water to your alcohol, water to your beer. Alcohol is extremely dehydrating to the system. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the notes when I bring up our other set of notes here. So, um, pay attention to your water, and we're going to talk about how to do that in this next segment here. Um, so, let's go ahead and move over to that. I'm going to switch this here. And, um, all right, let's see. So, I've made you guys um, a water tracker, a hydration tracker, and a kind of a morning routine. So, we're going to talk a little bit about planning our day, planning some movement in the morning, and making sure that we get our hydration. So, when we part of taking care of ourselves is to give ourselves time to sit down, focus, organize our thoughts for the day, and begin to wake up not only our mind, but our body. And we do that with a regular morning routine. Um, so this chart here, we're going to you're going to commit for a couple of weeks here through this program to setting a regular wake up time during the weekday and on the weekend. And you're going to have some water, some tea, and you're going to spend a little bit of time um, doing some mindfulness activities, whether it's reading something to calm your mind, set your mood for the day, or writing in your journal, those kinds of things. Uh, it can be listening to your favorite podcast in the morning that is uplifting, something that does not increase your stress. We're working here at setting the morning mood by setting your stress response and setting your state of being with your all your body chemistry. So it's really important to um, take a few minutes before you dive into the news, before you dive into um, you know your your favorite drama online. Take some time and s- spend 10-15 minutes listening to something uplifting, whether it's music, your favorite uplifting podcast, your favorite astrology report, whatever it is. Schedule some time, whether it's 15-20 minutes, to do that time. Take a few minutes and do some movement. You can take 10 minutes, 15 minutes for some yoga, for some stretching. Just maybe walking around your house. Go outside. It's a little cold right now. Um, but maybe walk around the house, do a few little stretches. Um, I have some of my clients that I work with who don't come to my classes here in town. I'm giving them things to do in their chair in the morning, some chair yoga, some stretching, things like this, just to get your circulation going. As you do a little bit of physical movement, you start to raise your endorphins, you start to raise your oxytocin, you start to raise your dopamine. And this brings you up from a state of sleep to a bright state of awareness. And it gets really involved in helping you manage your mood and helping you regulate um, your emotional and mental state. So the movement is really important after that glass of water. Have a nice breakfast. Get some good protein in. Have some fresh fruit, some yogurt. If you don't have time in the morning to um, cook up a meal and eat it, prepare it the night before. Uh, eggs are quick. Bacon's not as quick as eggs, but you can cook up a little slab of ham with your eggs. Have a good heavy protein heavy breakfast. Um, Keep your sugars low in the morning, because if you start your morning on a high dose of sugar, you're number one, you're going to crave sugar all day long, and you're going to be fighting your insulin cycling. So cut your sugars in the morning. Berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, those are great in the morning. Um, even some of the lower sugar apples are fine in the morning for breakfast. They don't raise your insulin level too high in the morning. Keep your keep your tea and your coffee, your sweeteners in those very low, or switch over from sugar to allulose or um, monk fruit and xylitol, or even stevia. Those three are the best. They're natural. They're more. They don't spike your insulin, and they're not the amino sweet or the aspartame type sugars. These are natural sugars. So switch your sugars in the morning. If you start your morning low on your sugar, you're going to you're going to be your day is going to be much more even with your sugar spikes, and you'll be able to manage um, your sugar levels throughout the days. It's really helpful to do it that way. So heavy protein heavy breakfast, easy on the toast. Um, Keep your carbs low, um, because those carbohydrates will also spike your sugar, and you'll get out in the day, and you'll be a half an hour 40 minutes after your breakfast, and you'll feel sluggish and tired. So get your energy in the morning from your fats and your proteins, and a little bit of coffee or tea. Start your mornings here. And this can be kind of tricky to make this change to, but as you do this, you'll notice that you don't get the afternoon slump as hard, and that you don't get a headache from crashing off of your sugars and carbs from your breakfast. So Um, we will talk more about this in the nutrition section, but there's a preview for you. Um, whatever personal care, your shower, getting ready, do combing your hair, packing up your bag, and all of that, and for to get out on your day. Um, and take a little bit of time to review your goals for the day. That would be your to-do list. That would be your long-term goals. Remind yourself, come back to where you've been setting your goals on your worksheets. Review those as part of your morning routine. Take a look at those things and remind yourself what your goals are. When you take 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds to go back and review what you've been working on, what goals you've set for yourself, it helps you throughout the day to stay on target. And write yourself a daily affirmation. Uh, I have a section in my phone, in my notes, your little notepad. And I have a section here where I write my affirmations for my morning and my evening. And um, I will tell you the difference that it makes in your life. It's 40 pages long now because I write a new one every day. And it can be as simple as reminding yourself of what your what your personal worth and value is, what your talents and strengths are. Reminding yourself, I'm worthy of love. I am capable of handling the project that I have in front of me today. I am strong. I am kind. I am loving. I receive love. I am given lots of love. Small affirmations in areas that you feel challenged, and write them down as though it is 100% correct right now in this moment. And remind yourself of that throughout the day. It may seem weird and it may feel uncomfortable at first to do it, but the more you get in the practice of it, the easier it is, not only to write them down, but to believe them. The first couple of days or the first couple of ones that you write, you may not feel like you're being honest with yourself, but the more you do it and the more you say it right now, the easier it is and the more creative you become. And you will notice that your affirmations really affect uh, your self esteem, your capacity to endure hard things, and your ability to make things happen, your ability to manifest what you want. So, um, take the time to write a daily affirmation. It will take you leaps and bounds further in your daily work, in your goal um, processing, and in your goal achieving. It brings it right into you when you say it to yourself in the now. Let's roll up here. Now, for your nighttime routine, you want to give yourself about a half an hour before you go to bed because it takes about a half an hour to unwind. Um, Set yourself a weekly bedtime and stick to it, and then a weekend bedtime. Um, give yourself some wind down time in the evening. You can, if you're going to be working on a hobby or a book, give yourself more than a half an hour. Turn off your screen, turn off your TV, put on some nice music, get your brain in a different state. And if you're working on a hobby, work that creative time that you spend on it is really good for unwinding your brain from the day and giving your subconscious mind time to start processing the things that you've experienced and thought about during the day so that when you're ready to lay down to go to bed, you don't start doing it then. You're this journaling time, hobby time, reading, whatever it is that you do for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour before you go to bed, listening to some nice music will start to let your subconscious mind do that processing in the background. I call it my back brain. And when you can let your back brain start processing while you're doing something that crosses over between your right and left brain, when you lay down to go to bed, your your brain is going to be in a better place so that when you want to close your eyes, you can and not start thinking about the things that you need to process because your back brain's been doing it. Turn off your screens. Set your computer screens and your phone screens to make a shift when it gets dark so that the blue light coming off of them, you're not getting that blue light after dark. Help your circadian rhythm work with your devices by having, you can set a timer on your computer and you can set a timer on your phone for it to switch over to shutting off the blue lights on your computer screen and your phone. The color will be a little bit different at first and then your eyes will adjust and it'll be fine. um, and that helps your brain start to understand that it's going to be time to relax soon as well. Make sure you get plenty of water. Again, hydration. You can have some herbal tea, um, and you can have some water. I even decaffeinated tea has enough. Decaffeinated coffee and decaffeinated tea. They both have enough low amount of caffeine that if you're sensitive or you're having trouble sleeping, you don't want to mess with it. So, herbal tea and some warm water with some lemon and some ginger in it, maybe some cinnamon to help slow you down, some fennel. Do that about an hour before you go to bed so that you have time to go to the bathroom, but your brain is hydrated and your body's not thirsty, wanting something. If your body is craving water, you'll have a hard time going to sleep. Do some things that are mentally relaxing. Meditation is a really good practice, and we're going to do some of that. And I'm going to show you how to do some meditation so that you're successful at it and you enjoy it when we, in a couple segments from here. So, um, you can find some really great guided meditations for sleep on YouTube. You can listen to, and I'll put some different types of links to these types of things on YouTube over in the Telegram rooms so that you have some different tools and things to try when you're ready to lay down and start practicing some mental relaxation. Um, get a book, and it can be something like this, just something small. It's a buck at the dollar store, and um, write down the things that you're grateful in the day. At the end of the day is a really good time for a gratitude practice. When you have gone through a day and you've had a ton of different experiences, eh, happy ones, frustrating ones, you know, stressful ones, you want to come back at the end of the day and remind yourself about the things that you are grateful for. What happened in the day that was good? What happened in the day that was great? What happened in the day that you recognized that you were grateful for? The more that you see that you are grateful for, the better your mind will be able to unwind and relax. And in the morning, you will wake up looking for those things to happen. It is a practice that carries over from day to day. So as you begin to practice it, you might be going through some really hard times and think, I have one thing to be grateful for. Write it down and write down why you're grateful for it and what it made you feel and what it made you think. And the perspective that it gave you. That just that one thing is enough. Write it. Then in the morning, when you begin your daily practice and start your affirmations for the day that are going to get you going, it's going to get you looking for those things that are um, beautiful in your life. And as time goes on, you'll find that you have more and more things to be grateful for. and take a minute at the end of your routine here and write an affirmation for sleep. I am healing while I sleep. My body is resting. I am, anything that hurts feels better, Uh, my body is healing my aching back. My body is healing my illness. I am well. I am peaceful. I am safe. Whatever it is that you need to focus on feeling and experiencing uh, for your nighttime, write it in there. If you need to print several of these pages, one a day, so that you have a different page to write your affirmations on, and you can track your daily success through the week, do it. If you want to write it down in your book, wherever it is that is convenient for you, but keep track of it somewhere so that you can look back at the end of our 6 months together and see how all of these different little things has impacted your overall well-being. That's the the point of this masterclass, is learning how to manage and affect your overall well-being on a long-term basis. Um, let's let's go on here. So we're going to talk a little bit about some creating some daily balance too. How do you do that? Uh, in your morning and evening routines, these are things that you can do. These are some suggestions. You can spend 10 to 15 minutes outside. It's a little cold for this right now with your bare feet. Um, Out on the grass, out on the dirt. Get your feet in there. The energy that you absorb from the earth through your feet is very corrective and very nurturing to your energetic body, to your electrical body. It reduces stress and a lot, really, and it improves your well-being significantly. It's some people, I understand that you don't like to put your feet down on the ground. It feels yucky to you. Um, just try it for a few minutes. Then you can go in and rinse your feet and put your socks on and your shoes back on. I happen to really not like to wear shoes and not wear things on my feet. I like my feet out in the air. I like my toes out in the air. I like to feel the ground. Um, it really does make a difference for me in how I'm feeling. If I have worn shoes too long, the first thing I do is, when I get home, is take them off and stick my toes in the dirt, stick my feet on the ground, I like to go down. It's not so nice in my upper yard because we have a lot of gravel back there, but down by all of the animals where it's in the thicket and it's green, and I like to feel the soft dirt in my toes, and it just, I loved it. I learned when I was a young person and I lived near the beach, my feet got real tough because as soon as I got out of the car, the sandals came off and I would walk from the car all the way to the water in my bare feet because the sand just felt so good between my toes. It was really good for me, something that I looked forward to, and one of the reasons that I would hurry to the beach when I was having stress and just needed to unwind. The salty air, the salty water, and the sand in my toes just made all the difference for me. So try some grounding when it warms up. Micro journaling. I have a book that I keep by my bed, and it is also about this size here, but has empty pages in it, blank unlined pages. And I keep some markers and some crayons and some pens next to my bed with my book. And part of my bedtime routine is to spend, I do a 10-minute drawing, a 10-minute writing, a 10-minute poem, a 10-minute something. I give myself 10 minutes. And Sometimes I'll draw a picture about my day, and this doesn't have to be fancy. It is generally stick pictures and a lot of scribbles. And um, this is about unwinding it out of my brain, taking it out of my obsessive thinking mind and putting it onto paper where I know if I have to come back to it, I can. Or if I need to let something go, it comes out through a drawing, through a poem. Sometimes I've started in the middle of the page and written about it in a spiral all the way around the page. Or, um, I've drawn love notes or gratitude notes or whatever it is, but make it a picture, make it very colorful. Use the colors to express the feelings that you have about what happened in your day. And uh, 10 minutes on a page. And I got a nice thick book. It'll take you about a year. And I'll do a, I just do a picture on one side because it's usually very color heavy and it leaks through to the other side. So um, it'll be one picture per page, just as you turn it. And because I don't like it to bleed through. Um, you can do it however you like. This is one of the best ways to take your, after you've done your creative time and your reading and your hobby time, your back brain is still processing a little bit and you want to give it a few extra minutes to let go of what you've got going on from your day. And the micro journaling, the drawing, the coloring, this really helps you let go and process it some more. um, and then at the end of the year you have a really interesting, unusual little book. You can store it in your bookcase, get a new book, and start the next year. But buy a nice thick book with a good binding on it and nice unlined paper. And it is amazing when you go back, even years later, because you've spent the time. 10 minutes is all it takes to draw a little something, write about it, give comments about the thing that you drew, and put it away. You can go back and remember it as if it were present. And if you need again later to process something, you have a starting point. If you want to remember something wonderful and lovely and sweet, you can go back to it. It just takes 10 minutes. And it is a wonderful collection of your thoughts and feelings. So take a social media day off. Turn off your phone, listen to some music, or listen to nothing. Go outside and do something, take a trip to town, whatever it is. But just turn off your social media every now and then and take a break. Don't answer any texts. Just take the time to recenter your energy and recenter your all of the attachments you have to all the different sites and pages that you look at. Give your mind a break. It needs one. um, and do some sensory awareness practice. This is kind of fun. Spend a few minutes every day focusing on your five senses. In the afternoon, when I have a cup of tea, I like to sit, whether it's at the coffee shop, in my kitchen, out in the back porch, wherever, and I will listen to the sounds and identify them all. And I will feel my body. What do I feel? I feel the velvet of my shirt. I feel the type of seat that I'm in. I feel the sofa. I feel the chair. Um, I feel the tag rubbing me on my jeans. Just notice what your body is feeling. Um, are you feeling pain in your body? My knee hurts. My back hurts. I notice if you're feeling better in your body from all the exercise that you've been doing and the care that you've been giving your body. What do you feel in your body? Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? If you're having something to eat while you're doing your awareness practice, what is it that you are tasting? Um, Enjoy the many tastes of your food. What does your salad taste like? What does your sandwich taste like? What is your, what does your main dish taste like? Enjoy, really dig in, focus on. I having some lasagna, I taste the cheese and the tomato and the garlic and the onions and enjoy it. Focus on it. Really dig into your senses. Um, what are you seeing? What does the space around you look like? Where do your eyes continually return, and why do you enjoy that particular scene in the space that you are in? Um, if I'm sitting in the backyard under the pergola you know, by the garden, I will look across and I will see the bird feeder hanging, and I will see all the little birds coming and enjoying the bird seed, and they're all a different color and they're so beautiful, and that's where my eye returns. Or if my roses are in bloom, my I am appreciating and enjoying those roses. This anchors you in the present moment. So if you're struggling, you know, to stay present and not get sucked into a lot of energy around you, take a break, 5-10 minutes, have a cup of tea, have a drink of water, a glass of water, or just sit. But do this energy exercise, this sensory exercise. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? And what do you feel? Also, let's come back to the feel quick here, not just in your body, but what are you feeling emotionally? Can you name those emotions? Can you name, are you angry? Are you happy? Are you feeling peaceful? Are you feeling rested? Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling in control and excited? Label them, get to know them so that when you are having feelings, you know what's going on with yourself. A lot of times, getting to know where you're at any given time is as simple as taking this sensory awareness practice and learning to identify quickly what it is you're experiencing with all of your different senses. So, a couple more things that you can do here are to have a digital sunset. Set a specific time every day, and you can do this on your chart above. You can set a specific time every day in the evening when you power down all of your electronic devices. And this can be a signal to your body and your mind that it's time to relax and prepare for sleep. Now, you can do this, um, you know, if you're going to do some reading or work on your hobbies, or your digital sunset's going to be a little bit earlier. But if your hobby is writing and you're on your computer, then you're going to do your digital sunset is going to be towards the end of your relaxation routine, before you, like, if you're going to get into bed, and before you get into bed and you're going to take a shower, maybe do a little um, nighttime yoga, nighttime stretching to take the tension out of your body for the day. And when you change your body temperature with a shower, it's also another signal to your body that it's time to rest. So, your digital sunset time may vary depending on how you write your evening routine. But make one. Give yourself at least 20 minutes before you lay down. And make sure in the evening that you do some kind of creative move, or not necessarily in the evening, but through the day, do some creative movement. Um, if I am not going to be able to get to the gym or get to my yoga class, I set it up for my day that about every half an hour I get up and do 50 jumping jacks, and I walk down the hall and I walk back and I do a few squats. That's my creative movement for the day. Sometimes I'll turn on some music and dance. I don't really have any sidewalks where I can go skipping, but I do like to go out in the yard and twirl around and play with the dogs, and um, walk around, go out and see the goats, just to change it up for my body. My watch tells me that when I've been sitting too long, and I'll take that as my cue that it's time to be creative and move around a little bit. Um, this keeps your serotonin levels up. This keeps your dopamine levels up. It keeps your caloric um, it keeps your caloric burn up so that your body is not slowing down um, in your calorie department. And it is special, but the biggest part of it is here is that it helps to keep your mood up by keeping your body chemistry in balance. If you sit too long or you're stagnant and you're really focused and you're really intense and you're dealing with a lot of news, a lot of heavy work, your cortisol levels come up and your dopamine levels come down. And we want to keep that in balance. So every half an hour to 45 minutes, get up and change your scenery, move around a little bit. Whatever it is you want to do, that, turn on a 2-minute song, your favorite 80s song, and dance around to it for a few minutes. Lift your mood, have some water, sit back down and get back to work. So, um, these are some of the ways that you can manage your daily balance and your mood. A few more here. Um, find a way every day to do something kind for somebody else. It can be as simple as folding a load of laundry for someone, writing them a note, paying a compliment, giving somebody appreciation for something they've done for you is gigantic. Um, you can donate to a cause by giving your time, by passing their cause along with a positive note. Uh, when it enhances your well-being and strengthens your sense of connectedness to the people around you. We um, Social media and the internet has done a thing to us where as much access as we have to other people around us, we can often find ourselves feeling very isolated because we're not really in uh, one-on-one contact with people in real life and having as much interaction as we used to before the internet and before social media. When you go out to the grocery store, if you see somebody in an outfit that you love, tell them you love it. The other day I saw this gal in a pair of these hot pink glasses with a really unique frame, and she was busy sitting at the table and doing some things at her desk, at the table. But I told her, what? Those are the cutest glasses I've seen in a while. And her face lit up and she was so pleased. And um, it can be that simple. When you see something, let somebody know how much you enjoy it. Uh, when you sit down to eat, do a mindful eating ritual, one meal a day, whether it's your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. Turn off your phone, turn off the noise, sit in the quiet, and appreciate how much work had to happen for the food to get on your table in front of you. From the farmer to the transport of it to the store, or how much work it took you to grow it, for somebody to cook it, for you to cook it, for somebody to earn the money for you to have it. Appreciate all the things about your food and then dive into the food itself and appreciate it, enjoy it, like we were talking about earlier. When you take one meal a day to enjoy your food without rushing and without distractions and more things bombarding you, um, it promotes better digestion. And because your gut is directly related to your level of stress. So, if you can lower your stress and lower the input coming at you during one meal a day, it's going to improve your digestion, which is going to improve your nourishment and your health. Um, and of course, your appreciation for uh, the food in front of you, because it really is a miracle and a process, and so many are involved in getting it to you. So take some time. The Tibetan monks practice this, and when The Tibetan monks do some s- small basic farming, but none of their food comes to them without it being donated from the community around them, whether that's the seeds for their garden or the actual food. And so they eat.
You need more tea.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
So they eat with a very mindful practice of gratitude for the process and the way that their food came to them. And they're very, very healthy individuals. Um, there's been a lot of study on the monks for the various ways that they live and how it affects their health and how long they live. And one of the things that is talked about often in these studies is their mindful eating ritual. So there's really something to it. One meal a day, you can do it. Um, we have two more topics here. With the seasonal reflection practice. At the start of each season, take the time to reflect your goals, your lifestyle and values, and align your practices and your daily routines with the season's natural rhythms. For example, since it's wintertime, we slow down a little bit. We have shorter daylight hours. It's dark longer in the morning and it gets dark earlier in the evening. So we slow down, uh, just like the plants and animals do. The trees lose their leaves, they go dormant. Lots of our plants and flowers go dormant, and they're they're rooting slowly and deeply into the ground so that they can reach new nutrients during the springtime when it's time for them to bloom. So in the wintertime, we can make our practice very similar. We can slow down our day. We can, be in early with the sun as it goes down and use the evenings to deepen our roots through study, through practice of, our hobbies, our, um, the things that we love to do. And it's kind of the season of the hermit, and the hermit comes in and he lights the candles and he studies and he learns and he prepares and he plans for the next season. In the springtime, we begin to plant and we begin to sow the seeds. In the summertime, we work at growing and developing and helping everything to bloom. And then in the fall, we begin to reap the harvest. The same thing with our personal life and our personal seasons. How can you look at your life and organize it and plan it so that it flows with the seasons? You don't have to do everything at once, and truly you can't. So let the seasons teach you how to organize your life and how it should flow. And we already talked about the sensory awareness practice. So let's see, we're going to scroll up here and we're going to talk about one more type of way to get present when we're struggling to be present. And that is to do a breath body check in. Throughout the day, pause and take a couple of breaths, 3 slow breaths. Breathe in, hold your breath, and exhale it. Breathe in, hold your breath, and exhale it. Do it for a count of 4. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. This is a nervous system reset. It tells your vagus nerve that it's time to calm down again, reset, and slows down the production of cortisol and adrenaline and elevates the production of serotonin. And add in again if you need to. Don't forget your creative movement, your 45 minutes, half an hour to 45-minute timing of your movement so that you get up and move around and keep your body in an active state. Uh, and then you have a writing activity here. Reflect on which routines are working for you and which ones need fine tuning. When you when you are looking at your morning and evening routine, and you're using your charts, come down here and make some commitments to yourself to um, utilize, really utilize the things that are working for you, and alter the things that need to be corrected. Your sleep is going to be better, your mental health is going to be better, and your productivity is going to escalate significantly if you take the time to focus on where you need to fine tune and what is working for you. Remember your affirmations, they're really important to your daily success, and overall and over time they're really important to your mental health. When your mental health is in a good state, you know we, your body kind of works in a cycle or a wheel. So if your physical health is out, your mental health is out, but if your mental health is out, your physical health is going to be out. So today's conversation, we got a chance to look at both aspects of your mental and your physical health, and how to keep it moving forward through managing your daytime, your morning routine, and your evening routine. Um, Doing a few little check ins during the day, keeping yourself active, and writing some positive affirmations that will be inspiring to you. Um, and we talked about the value of hydration and how important that is for your body, um, and maintaining good cellular health, good organ health, and your nutrient absorption, and making sure that when you're being more active, you're getting more water. Um, let's see. And then I have a couple pages that I will stick into the Telegram room as well. There are a couple recipe pages for some hydrating beverages that you can make that are delicious and eh, um, help your body to hold on to your water. So that should cover it for today's conversation. And I am looking forward to any comments or questions that you have over in the Telegram room. And yeah, I'm gonna read some notes here in the chats because I was reading my notes. Code Red says you can cook up bacon and freeze it and just warm it. Yes, you can. Um, that's one way to do it. I know a woman that would cook up about 15 pounds. She had two teenage boys who were playing hockey and um, going to school. They were growing and playing a lot of sports. So once every couple of weeks, she'd cook up about 15 pounds of bacon, and they could just warm it up to add to their eggs and stuff in the morning. So yes, you can do that. Um, and that looks like all the comments I have left. Nice to see you here to do also, Zeralath. Thanks for joining. Um, so I'm going to close it up here, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. And I look forward to